Okay, people, we have a new EP next up from Leotrix. It is called Mortal. 6 tracks, again, another 17-minuter, actually, just like the Mar6 that we just covered. And it is a self-release, is it? I think. I'm pretty sure it's a self-release. It looks like it from what I can see here. I think this is his first EP since last August, which is a long time for Leotrix to go without putting out an EP. He's had many years, as we know, where he's put out, 3, maybe 4 EPs in a year. So it's nice to see that he's taken some time just to craft something a little bit different, maybe, perhaps self-released as well. Who knows how much this is going to stray from what we usually know Leotrix for. The first track is called All the Tar Left. Oh, All That Are Left. But it's All the Tar Left. I think there's definitely an extent to which the sound can be a little bit fresher, just have a little bit more shine about it, like a little bit more shiny, but some of the sounds are great. Really liking the melodic direction of it as well. Quite simple. It's that Leotrix future rhythmy kind of vibe. Always going to be keeping it simple and effective, and there's a lot of very nice sounds in there for sure. These builds are a mazza, bruv. He's one of the best. He is one of the best. For me, he is just one of the best. Like, he's proven that he can put his sound and his style into different kinds of bass music, but then he's always got this style to kind of go back to, this approach to go back to and just churn out track after track after track that are infectious as hell. Like, let's be honest. And whilst I do feel like it could be a bit brighter and a bit fresher overall, the sound we're getting here does have a very good punch to it as well. Just kind of, propping it forward. Oh, you're going to end with this? Going to end with this bit? Really? Leaving me on edge right at the end? Okay, don't have too much else to say. So I think we're just going to move on to Ikigai, which is Japanese, I think, for purpose or like sense of purpose. Look it up. This is what I mean, he can just go back to this style. I mean, it's not the same kind of dubstep, don't get me wrong, but it's got him kind of stamped all over it aesthetically, and he just makes track after track after track after track after track after track. Whip. Again, it's catchy. It's another catchy one. How'd you come up with so many of these? Ooh. It's always there, just to creep back in. Yeah, another simple, mostly to the point Leotrix kind of cut, but he knows what's good. He knows the important bits that have to be done to make it a track that people feel like they want to hear again and again. Do you know what I mean? The melody is good. You got that ticking percussion in the background, that hop and a skip, and then just some really nice like anthemic booming sounds in the drops as well to go with the melody, which is great. So all coming together there for a pretty nicely assembled track. Classic Leotrix in many ways. Just simple and knowing which parts to amplify, and not doing too much with the idea, which is good. Track number 3, we have Bubble Over, the final of the 3-minute tunes. This would definitely constitute as a wavy little wavy wobbly wibbly little wavy wobbly wibbly wobbler. Mate, the percussion, the background percussion on this EP is so good. The snare's different this time, isn't it? Got more of like a cushioned kind of sound. There is something a little bit memey about it as well, like the progression of these synths is a little bit clownish, like a little bit funny. You know, it's got a little bit of humour and a little bit of comedy about it. It's a little bit stodgier, a little bit more, you know, kind of plodding along vibes, not as euphoric as usual, what you might expect from Leotrix, but yeah, just keeps to itself for the most part. The melody, it's another catchy melody. I mean, it's not, again, one of those like uber colourful future rhythm kind of things, but it's definitely still there. And like I was saying earlier, definitely appreciate the comic appeal of that melody and how it just kind of plods along. Massive shoes but like little steps kind of vibe, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, track number 4 is the title tune. That is filthy. Oh, wow. Oh, it's just over 2 minutes, this one as well. It's almost like a bit of an interlude, so it's not like a full track really, but damn, this is mean. This one's cutting real deep. Yeah, that one's savage as hell without, you know, going overboard with it at any point, especially with the track length. As we can see here, it's basically over, which is my drawback with it. Like, it's just over as it properly gets going. I was enjoying that, but it constitutes more as an interlude than a fully fledged tune, you know. Oh well, for the title track as well, a little bit confusing, but penultimately we have Puzzle Pieces. Here we go. That's a classic, as the drop come in yet. Classic. This is interesting because the last one felt like an interlude in terms of how long it was. This one feels like an interlude in terms of the style and the approach compared to everything else we've got on the EP. Very nice, misty, hazy kind of vibe to this one. Yeah, just a really nice contextualizer for everything else on the EP. And now at the final cut, we have a complete tone shift with Last Laugh. Ooh. Hey. Completely unexpected jump up, jump scare at the end, just following some like really chilled, like dreamy, hazy, kind of ghostly vibe just before it. Oh my god, that is mean. Those little they're so good, those little touches. There you go. Kind of out of nowhere, but kind of working. Like, nice to hear that aesthetic in that format and just going for a jump up, squelchy kind of tune. Big energy to finish off with. Someone said it earlier about him, you know, this is what self-releasing does to someone, but yeah, he you know, doesn't have like anyone telling him what kind of tracks he should make or that, you know, he has to make. He's just doing his own thing, just doing whatever he wants to do. It just ties into the whole kind of feel of the EP, whereby the first half is very much like, you know, expected Leotrix. He got a load of future rhythmy cuts of different kinds of dubstep in there, to be fair, as well. And then he just goes on a bit of a mad one, really, with a really gruesome short tune, then like a bit of a weird chilled one, like a bit of an uneasy, ghostly kind of vibe about it, and then that D&B to close off. He's still churning out the melodies, he's still churning out the good beats, the flavoursome dubstep music, but it's kind of like, okay, we've had quite a lot of that from you by now. So to get that second half, which just completely, in a way, flips the EP on its head, is really cool, and love to see it. But definitely do await that debut album. That's going to be fantastic. Can't wait for that. There we go, guys, for Mortal, self-released new 6-track EP from Leotrix. Thank you very much.